Hi, this is Caitlin Carter. This is a review of my clinical skills for Clinic 3050. The first question is asking about how my clinical experience and academic work has kind of helped prepare me for this assessment. I feel like I've been in a really good place of taking, especially my complications classes for prenatal, and then I just finished prenatal complications, and before that I took labor, birth, immediate postpartum, and postpartum, and I feel like that was at a really good time when I was working on my my continuity of cares, sorry, and and we really had some complications that came up, and so I feel like there were really good opportunities for me to have conversations and to have my preceptor ask for input as we're having these conversations, and feeling like I was able to have really educated conversations with her about some of those things as well. Mainly, I just feel like it really increased my confidence a lot, and I have found myself stepping more toward complicated situations instead of stepping back and looking at my preceptor and hoping that she's going to kind of step in and save me. And yeah, I think that's basically it for that. Just really increased confidence. And of course, I always learn better if I have, a story or something to go along with that as well. I don't know. I feel like I've had a really awesome opportunity of having those two things go hand in hand. What skills do I have down cold? I feel like I am really quite good at labor support, and that includes like shared decision making, just talking through things, and telling the client kind of what options are, and really understanding what's important to the client, and really just kind of helping come to the best decision. And prenatal education, I think, and maybe in postpartum as well. I feel like I've gotten better at the not giving enough information and then oversharing and giving too much information. I feel like most of the time I'm in a good place of just figuring out kind of what the client is looking for and helping make those decisions that way. I don't think there are any skills that I'm confident in that my preceptor disagrees with. And really, I don't feel like she's marked me as competent on things. Well, I mean, confidence is also relative. I made a list of some things here that I have not seen. We have gone through, we have talked, we've done demonstrations using models, just as best we can, but I have not seen breach. I have not seen multiples. I haven't seen really odd presentations either. The occasional nuchal hand, something like that, but no face, brow, nothing like that. I hesitate to say transfers because we have a bunch of babies coming up. I've seen interpartum transfers. We've transferred prenatally as has been appropriate. Knock on wood, I've had no postpartum transfers with this preceptor. I did have one with my last one, although, I don't know, it was for a DVT, so I'm not sure if that even includes, probably it's not even a transfer. Anyway, the use of the microscope, like that's just not something that we do. My preceptor has one, we've played with it, but we've never actually used it in practice. Prenatal pelvimetry, we hardly ever do a pelvic exam prenatally, and anyway, that's not something I've done. An episiotomy, I feel confident that I know how to do it. I know when using that would be appropriate, but have not done that either. So I can't say that I'm confident in those things. I am confident that I can have an educated conversation about it, and that I know, I've run through all of those scenarios in my head, and I think that I could be able to handle it confidently in the moment, but sometimes experience just comes with experience. What skills have I not achieved? I am competent or exemplary on all of the skills on the skills competency form. How is my professionalism? I went through the standards of professional behavior in the clinical handbook, and the two that kind of jumped out at me were number 11, were the transfer or transport of care in labor or in postpartum. I have not actually done that. Both transfers that we've had were early on. We're not even in primaries yet. I was in primaries, but wasn't. Anyway, it was just right at the very beginning. And I did not have those conversations on the phone. I was not talking to the hospital working on that transport. So I have my form, I know SBAR, like I think I'm good on all of those things. I think that should be good, but that's not something that I've had experience with. And number 12 provides the opportunity for client feedback. This isn't something that I feel like our practice is really great at. To my knowledge, there's no way that is equally set up for everybody to give feedback. And I feel like when people give feedback, it's typically only positive feedback, which, yay, that's wonderful. But I don't know that that's really helpful to me either. So that's something that we could work on in the future. Again, I don't think I should need any optional skill modules, as all of my skills are competent. And as I think about moving on to be a CPM, I really know what I'm going to school for. How ready am I? I feel that answer is different probably on a day-to-day basis. There are days when I am just very, very ready, and there are days when I am so glad that I sit in the office across from my preceptor and we can have conversations about things. Whoa. I'm really grateful for the preceptors that I have currently and have had. I feel like both of them are going to be amazing, and that they will always take a phone call. What am I looking forward to help me move forward? My biggest thing is my husband's retiring from the military, and we don't know what state we're going to be practicing in. So that's kind of a big hesitation on my part. And the other thing is just passing state exams if we stay here in Washington. So that's my assessment.